All right. So a lot of AI stuff, a lot of anticipation, a lot of fear to some extent, a lot of excitement with AI-related solutions, I believe. Yes? Okay. So I'm sure this raises a lot of questions about what this talk is going to be about, like battle for AI-powered test automation solutions. Um, okay, before I delve into the topic, I would like to understand how many people classify yourself as automation testers. Okay. And how many of you classify yourself as manual testers? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And then how many of you don't classify as either of them? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So because that'll set the tone for everybody. So, okay. Before we talk about today's topic, let me tell briefly about myself. Okay, I'm not boasting here, but yes. So I created a company called Test Fast Software Solutions. Basically, when I realized when I work for big companies, I can't do things that I want to do. So I started my own company, and I've created a group called Software Test Automation Group. And anybody who has not heard of this, please raise your hands. Okay. All right. And if you're into testing, test automation, you better join that group. But otherwise, you are missing a lot. And we don't want you to miss the train. Okay. And advocate of AI-driven testing or smart testing or whatever you call it. Okay. And then I've done a few publications as well. I see myself as dedicated to community building, especially for quality assurance, because I feel quality is intrinsic to everything that we do in our lives. Okay, a quick about my company. My wife is also sitting here, Shweta. You can see her in the picture. That's not the robot, by the way, the person next to her. So, Stag Meetup has been there for last 10 years now. And then we have grown into 2,000 plus members. And she has been a phenomenal background force. Without her support, it couldn't have been possible to create such a big community. So I would request everybody to give a round of applause for her. Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you. Okay, so I hope I'll get today's dinner. Because she helped me a lot in our stall. She's kind of tired. Yep. All right, thank you so much. And before we dwell into today's topic, okay, it's a very, very serious topic, okay? And I want everybody to understand the seriousness of the topic because it might be very pivotal to decide where the humanity is headed, okay? So I'll touch upon few conceptual things. I might touch on few tools and frameworks and stuff like that. But I'm not here to sell anything. They are more for your reference. You can go home and explore more about them. So before we start something, I have a activity for everybody else. So shall we do one quick exercise? Maybe it'll take a minute or so. Yeah. Okay, I know everybody had lunch. I hope nobody is feeling sleepy. I'll make sure that you won't sleep by the end of this talk. So, okay, let's do one quick activity, okay? Before I jump onto the next slide, let's close our eyes, okay? And then keep one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach, okay? Just close your eyes. We'll see. Just close your eyes and just breathe slowly, like whatever your usual speed is. And just feel the breaths. feel the heartbeat. Take a few deep breaths in, make it deeper. Feel at peace with yourself. Feel the heartbeat, feel the breath. Now with a smile, please open your eyes. How did you feel? Good? Okay. Awesome. Anybody sleeping, please wake them up next to you. Okay, so my main critical point of doing this exercise is to differentiate between manual testing and automated testing. Okay. Okay. So we all talk about artificial intelligence. This, it'll take away jobs. It'll do this. It might, Terminator, Skynet, and whatnot. It gets crazy, right? And then some people are like, no, it's good. It's making our life easy. We are able to do so many things which we wouldn't have ever imagined to do. I don't know if you got few of the stickers from our stall, Test Fast. They were all AI generated, by the way, and I loved it, to be honest. And many people loved it as well, though I gave the idea, but it did a good job there. So the pivotal question or the central to this is, what is intelligence in the first place? Okay. So what is intelligence? Like, you might question, right? Like, can anybody answer that? Like, what is intelligence? If you have a good... Questioning everything, why, how. Okay, anything else?
How fast you are giving answer to the question and how it should be right,
Okay. Running and evolving. Okay. Learning. Okay, learning and evolving. Okay. Ability to analyze. Okay, nice. Applying knowledge to solution of the problem. Okay, good one. Yep. Anybody else? Cognitive power to deduce solution. Okay, that's a good one. Yep. Analyze, adapt, and improve. Yes. Implement. Okay. All right. Yep. Differentiate between right and wrong. Okay. Wow. All right. Anybody else? Understanding and reasoning. Okay. Nice. Anybody else? Anything more deeper? More profound? Problem solving in dynamic. Okay. It makes sense. Yep. Okay. And somebody, in one of the talks, she said, serving your purpose. I was like, okay, or ability to serve your purpose. I was like, that's a very deep answer. But who decides your purpose in the first place? Right? Yeah. So every answer that I got was, to some extent, it was task-based. It was superficial will be wrong word, but it is at a surface level where you are acting, whether it is right or wrong. Right and wrong can be subjective as well, right? And then adapt, learn, evolve. These are all outcome of the intelligence, okay, which is imbibed in everything, okay? So I want you to dwell upon this, like, what is intelligence? Is it something that we are creating? Hence we call it artificial intelligence. Or is it already there within us and outside us? Because when we did the breathing exercise, what I wanted you to realize is the heart is beating. The air is going in and out. You are not doing it in the first place. So intelligence is already there within you, around you, and somehow there's a symbiotic relationship with the environment in which you are existing. Okay? So it's a very deep thought, but it is very pivotal to what we are going to do in quality assurance and AI begins with this fundamental question about the nature of intelligence and our relationship to it. So, okay, there's something about the PowerPoint. Okay. So, if you look at each of the petals there, does anybody has an answer? Okay, how each of the petal is being designed? Like, I got answers like it's biology. Somebody said it's physics. Somebody said it's mathematics. You can name it whatever, but somewhere deep inside the flower or the plant, there is some intelligence imbibed into it that it solves a mathematical equation and it creates those petals in the first place. And same thing with a seed that grows into a big tree. So what is causing that, how it is happening, is beyond our comprehension, and I think humanity has been trying to answer this for like eternity. Now, coming to our next point, which is very contextual, like defining quality in AI context. Like, what is AI? So basically what we are trying to highlight is it's not only about, when we said right and wrong, it is about a mix of things. When we are using like AI or any artificial intelligence software or solution, we have to judge it based on the fairness, on the reliability, the responsibility, and lastly, the performance. So the quality aspect of each of the tools that might be there in the market or might evolve eventually in the market have to be judged on these things. So gone are the days when a tool could compare two screens and it would say this is the right one, this is the faulty one. Now the definition of quality itself has evolved. Okay, so we have to change, we have to evolve our testing mindset, our test automation mindset accordingly. Now, at this particular juncture, we are having three variants of testing. One is manual testing, one is automation, and one is intelligent automation. Now, everybody is using manual testing in with ChatGPT or whatever other AI tools that we have. We can generate test cases. So it is backed by AI. Okay, and then there is automation where we can use again ChatGPT, Claude, or there are so many other tools and technologies to create your automated tests. And then comes the intelligent automation where it learns, adapts, and evolves autonomously. So that's the AI, we are headed in that direction. So how are we going to do that? So manual testing, okay, you are having your ethics, your policies, everything is guided. Automation, still it is guided because it's driven by certain automation architects and certain policies and stuff like that. But when we get into intelligent automation, which is autonomous, we have to really think about quality very intrinsically. So there are a few unique challenges. So before we get into the tool specifications, there are certain challenges. So I'll let you decide who's the winner, or is there a winner, or is there no winner. You can figure it out eventually. But the challenges that QA AI or AI QA focuses on is data limitations. There can be biases. Like I have been able to corner ChatGPT multiple times that it is not giving valid answers. I'm sure same thing with you guys. There can be incompleteness, there can be lack of diversity. Now each one can lead to certain defect in future. So how are we doing a comprehensive way of data collection is something very, very central to our QA activity. Because you cannot use ChatGPT to generate certain code which doesn't have exposure to your domain in the first place. Human fallibility is one thing. Certain errors that you have imbibed into the program can evolve into bigger issues. I don't want to get into the examples. They can be quite drastic outcomes. Imagine a self-driving car which is programmed, has certain bug in it, it might lock a person out, and then the outcome could be fatal. So as we depend more on AI, we should be much more responsible in understanding these in-depth value systems and morals and ethics. And yes, there are other things like performance degradation over time, difficulty in explaining the AI decision making because it's treated as a black box, and lastly, security risks. Like we can use AI model, and most of the big organizations don't allow AI with this in mind. There are a few more challenges like AI hallucination. The screen is purposely kept white because I realize it's too dark and people might feel sleepy, so it'll just wake them up. So, so there's human intelligence at place. So AI hallucination. Now this is a very deep topic wherein you think everything is working fine, but it is not. I think Deloitte recently got fined for this. Nothing against them. It is an outcome of using AI without human intervention. So I think it's time that we realize what's going wrong with AI and then correct ourselves. Limited self-healing, time paradox. I'm sure if you have used ChatGPT and other co-pilots to generate your code over a period of time, the complexity might increase and you might feel clueless about how the code was generated and how to fix it. And yeah, there are a few other integration complexities as well. Now, coming back to the AI QA framework, you have to stick to certain basics. So from a data QA point of view, ensure data accuracy, diversity, and representativeness, bias detection, and mitigation strategies. Now, many of the automation tools which are out there, we wouldn't even talk about all of these things. But now the whole game has changed. You have to talk about these things. What models are we using? What LLMs are we using? So, and yeah, there are a few other things as well, but what is one more very critical is ethics. Now, ethics is not something which we would talk about in our previous automation frameworks, but now we have to, whether it is aligned with moral and legal principles, otherwise we end up paying a huge price in coming days. And of course, there has to be transparency and explainability testing, which are new to the arena. We have to understand how are we going to test this particular AI tool and make sure that, yes, this is the one which we want to use going forward, and there won't be any fallouts in coming days. So with AI, we have achieved some successes with medical imaging, climate prediction. I always complain about Bureau of Meteorology. They're never right. So yeah. And in fact, I was planning to join them just to make sure what is wrong with your system, that when you say sunny, it's cloudy. And when you say cloudy, it's sunny. So you mess up my day outings. So yeah. So anyways, so now it's improved. That's a joke. No offense taken by bomb guys, hopefully. And yeah, there's a benefit to for accessibility, people with disabilities and stuff like that. There have been few failures which have been identified, which are known about facial recognition, predictive policing, and hiring algorithms. Some undeserving candidates would have been hired because AI didn't behave certain way or whatever. So there you go. Now, what is future of AI QA? Self-testing AI systems, a system that can monitor, evaluate, and correct their own performance. Should it create a fear in your mind? I would like to think no, because recently I saw a video on YouTube, like my son was watching it, the world's biggest chocolate made in a factory. And then the way it was being made was crazy, like all the robots doing things. And my son was like, why are men there and they're getting paid when the robots are working? I was like, that's a very good question, kid. You will have to ask that question for yourself when you are in workforce. So, yeah. So, so the whole paradigm of working hard is changing. Okay, it's not going to be the same work that we used to do 10 years ago. That is going to be, in coming days. It's going to change drastically. I feel myself when I wrote just a prompt to create an automation framework, and then I did everything without me doing anything in 3 minutes time. And I was like, this would have taken at least a month or two for me to write this kind of a framework and execute it in the first place. I'm like, am I putting myself out of job or something? But the answer is no to it, because whatever topics that we touched upon, there are serious flaws in the system, and we have to improvise. So quality is intrinsic to everything that we do. So we have to keep on improvising these algorithms, these data sets. So in fact, unlike previously, testing is going to be much more central to everything that we do in coming days. So more testers will be required is what I can say, and it will be a smart thinking rather than hard work. You don't have to write a lot of test cases, but then you have to tell what type of test cases you have to write. So it will be more of what's the right word? Not the authoritative. It's more about monitoring things. So that's the kind of role that we'll get into. And eventually we'll have to have universal QA standards, because without which even Elon Musk can be in soup, because if an auto driving car is bumped into or takes a wrong decision, it's not the driver who will become blamed, but it will be Elon Musk's car, because he built the car, so he has to take all the responsibility. So there has to be certain some kind of a QA standards, like who takes the responsibility and how. So I would say this is golden era for testers. Like, I would like to give a very positive view to you. If you love manual testing but dislike scripting, AI is the way. If you love scripting but you dislike repetitive execution or writing test cases, AI is the way. So earlier record and playback was terrible. I remember Selenium IDE days when things were horrible. They were very flaky. It was very discouraged. But now I used a tool called Reflect with Zephyr, and I was like, oh my God, like this is the way forward. Like, why was I writing code now? Like, it can do phenomenal things. Now, when I say this, I'm not selling this product, by the way. This is just that I had hands-on work with that, so I just was astonished by it. Now, what are the key AI features for testing solutions? So one would be self-healing. Next would be auto test generation, visual AI, predictive analysis, and NLP test creation. So these are few core areas which I felt are critical to judging any AI testing solution. Okay. Now, you might have few more topics, you might have few more ideas, more than welcome, but then I feel these are the core values that any AI tool should cater for. Now, with this, I try to, like, again, I'm not comparing any tool here, I'm not promoting. Everybody is doing a great job, by the way. Every stall out there is talking some kind of AI, and I'm sure they are doing something right. Hence, they have competitors as well. So, one by one, if we go, if you look at Zephyr, I hope everybody has used Zephyr, yeah? Okay. Anybody who's not familiar with it? It's a very common test case writing tool. Basically, you write your, either in given when then, or you say, I go to this login page, click and blah, blah, stuff like that. And some people find it very boring, repetitive, but some people love it. But what they have come up with recently is a Reflect add-on on top of it, which helps you just record everything, and all these steps will be generated by itself. And then the best part is you don't have to do anything. You just execute it, and you can give complex logic, saying, if there's a JSON file that is being generated, make sure you extract this value. And it's in very plain, natural English-like language. You don't have to write any code, and then it just does the smart extraction. Now, of course, Copilot, both Microsoft and GitHub Copilots have their own benefits. They boost your scripting productivity. Hugging Face, if anybody has not heard of Hugging Face, no? Okay, you guys need to really explore it. They have a library of AI stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. MCP, basically Playwright MCP, amazing tool, like phenomenal, I would say. There are other mentionable tools like Testim, Apply Tools, Mabel, and Functionalize. And there are a few other tools which I wouldn't have listed. These are a few things which I've tried and tested. Quite happy with the results, sorry, but not, floored. But I would like to think the best solution would come out of a combination of these. You cut down your manual testing effort, you cut down your scripting effort, you do some kind of a CI/CD pipeline, you try to, create some kind of agent, one agent talking to another agent, and that's the kind of solution I'm looking for. And I think one of the talks, they talked about it, and they're trying in that direction. I think we're not there, but we are headed in that direction. Okay, so I've classified these tools into a few categories, no code or low code. The names are already mentioned there, code assisted AI and full AI orchestration. And if you have not tried with Hugging Face and MCP, trust me, you will feel yourself as insignificant when you see the things that it can do, like crazy. I felt that when I used it for the first time. I have a small a group of testers. I messaged in that group saying, guys, pack your bags. Crazy. I was like, and anybody, not only testers, even the developers and the DevOps, please pack your bags, go Bali for a vacation, and then find alternative ways to, earn a livelihood or something like that. But there's always a positive side to it. There's always a silver lining. If you have tried GitHub Copilot, it's revolutionizing, test case creation through contextual awareness and code understanding. Amazing stuff. If you're not play around with it. MCP basically it enables you to communicate across AI agents. And lastly, autonomous testing agents, which will help you plan, write, execute, debug tests with minimal human intervention. So while you might see the upcoming model, why big organizations are probably firing people off, not a very good thing. I would like to think eventually they'll hire them back because they need smart people. There is a need for human intervention to make the best out of all these solutions that is out there. A bit of highlight on Hugging Face and NLP for testing. So it is it comes in very handy in synthetic data generation. You can create diverse test inputs, positive, negative, edge cases, which humans might miss. And then anomaly detections, models trained to predict edge cases, anomalies, and performance issues. And lastly, API integration so that you can integrate with different pipelines that are out there. Now, before I jump on, I just wanted to show a quick demo. I don't know if that's the format of our thing. So this, I didn't even write a single line of code in this, by the way. I didn't do anything. All I did was give a prompt. Let me just see if I can bring up the prompt here. It was just yesterday, I said just create a Cucumber Selenium-based test automation framework along with Allure report generation and data-driven capabilities using Hugging Face to test blah, blah. Okay, whatever. I just made it up, right? Okay, and then I just created all of this for me. And then let me see if it executes well.
Why cucumbers? Why?
I love cucumbers, man. I just love them. Okay. So if you see, even the data, I didn't generate that. I didn't even give it the data. I don't know how it captured all this information. It just did. And then let's see. The report. Okay, let's see what it has to say. Cool. One is successful, one is failed. That's what it is intended to do. And I didn't even give any of the prompts. Can we give a round of applause for the whatever? So I mean, I was like, okay, I mean, after seeing this, don't you feel like packing your bags and going for a vacation? Yes. Imagine, man, look at the beauty, man. Everything, I would have like spent days together to create something like this. And now it's all done in a prompt, done, dusted. Now I'll show you another demo of another product. Okay, so this is, the Zephyr equivalent which I was talking about. So if you see here, all the left side steps, I didn't write them. They're already auto-generated. All you have to do is record your steps. I'll just run this for your reference. So what this particular tool is doing is, when I'm doing certain steps, I can also give certain prompts like do this, do that, test this, test that, and whatnot. And it will do it by itself. And the best part is, it has generated the steps which can be treated as your test steps, which you don't feel like writing all the time. And it has also created variables within the test data that you can pass on to another test step and then use it accordingly. You can extract value from the steps that have been generated here. And lastly, it records every execution that has happened. So for historical purpose, you can just go back and look at it. And the best part was, because it's part of the Jira ecosystem, you can just click on, okay, there is a defect here, you just click on that, and this whole execution will be linked to it for any developer to have a look at, and what went right, what went wrong, and they can reproduce the steps for themselves. So you don't have to do all the hard work of putting steps to reproduce, putting screenshots, and the tester or the developer would reject, saying cannot reproduce on their machine. Everything taken care of, right? Isn't that amazing? I was happy when I saw this. Like somewhere, I love coding, but then when it comes to writing manual tests, it can be quite boring. That's why I'm into automated testing. So yeah, so you can do some complex JSON validation and stuff like that. Okay, so coming back to our demo. Yeah. So did you like that, the demos? Yeah? Cool. All right. Okay, coming to the fun part. Okay, now we all want testing for these AI systems. And thankfully, all these filmmakers have done it for us. They have tested the edge cases for us. So that can work as your baseline for writing your test cases in future. So what are we talking about? I'll go with my favorite, the matrix, basically. Monitor for unexpected emergent behaviors. Okay, so if your AI is acting too smart, you better be careful, okay, because it might take over your job first and then take over other people's jobs, and I don't know what else, take over the world probably. We are not there yet, but then eventually we might get there. But so we have to keep a tab. All the people here, all the testers here, we have to make sure that we have to think about intelligence in different perspective. It's not about expected versus actual as testing. It's also about understanding the ethical side of it, the behavioral side of it. There are so many other aspects that I spoke about. Ex Machina. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie. Anybody? Yes? Anybody raise hands? You did? Okay, good. Because it is an amazing movie. You should watch. It is like when a humanoid is created out of AI, then a person is brought in to test that AI. And the beauty of that humanoid, a girl, is so much. Yes, spoilers. She outsmarts, okay? She outsmarts. And how she does it is something worth thinking about. So, okay, so we all know about Skynet. We all know about iRobot probably. So, each one of these is basically talking about, and these are not fiction anymore. These are realistic stories. Okay, sooner or later, maybe sooner than later, we will have to ask these existential questions. Like when my son himself asks, okay, why are the people getting paid when the robots are getting the work done? I'm like, you are talking for the robots already, like, so the younger generation is thinking much different than what we could perceive. Okay, so we have to really start asking these questions. So their world is different, our world is totally different. So we have to start seeing world from their perspective. So coming to the final end of this, so what are the skills that we need to develop in coming days? It's prompt engineering, communicate intent to AI effectively. You can't just say, go rule the world. No, you can't do that. You have to give a very context-sensitive prompt, make it understand. You cannot, pump in all the data to it. I mean, I don't know whether I should be saying this or not, but there's one guy who he was a counselor in one of the, I don't want to name the place. So he said, you know what, it's so easy that you can put all the residents' data into ChatGPT and ask it to give a algorithm, how should I win this election? I'm like, no, that's not the way you should do it, because you are exposing a lot of public data to these AI tools which you don't know how they work. So you have to have a very clear understanding of what this is. You have to have, curated, clean data set for training. You cannot have deviation. You cannot have bias. You have to have a clear understanding of what the model represents. What is it good for? What is it not good for? You have to have a clear automation strategy, merge human oversight with AI capabilities. You cannot say, AI do this, AI do that. It might do it, but then you cannot. It's very easy. Like, I'll tell you my experience. Like, it was very easy for me to, once you start seeing the AI doing things, you feel lazy. You don't feel like doing things. It's human, right? It's human nature not to do. When AI can do it, why am I doing it? I'd rather do something else. But it's about being responsible when the AI is doing something. So that responsibility is very intangible, but then it can have certain serious consequences. And of course, we have to have continuous validation, prevent any AI bias or drift in testing systems. So it has to be an ongoing process, which we cannot ignore. So lastly, what is the outcome of this battle? Like, I didn't really have, one facing another. That's not my objective. My objective of this is there is an evolution that is happening. The battle is not between the good versus bad. It is about old versus new. So how the new is going to come up. There are a lot of debates, I'm sure, like whoever is reading the news. There are a lot of organizations with their own intentions, with their own perceptions, with their own data set and things like that. Creates a lot of fear, but the outcome should be, create human judgment plus AI capabilities to create an unbeatable testing strategy. And choose your AI ally wisely. And lastly, AI doesn't replace tester, it amplifies them. As the case with automated testing, it's always complementary, so is AI. So use it. And the tag is very popular lately. AI won't take your job, but a tester using AI might. Now again, that creates fear enough in a lot of people's mind, but I would rather say keep upskilling. It's fun to play around, amazing tools out there. If we have to go back to our first slide, mirror of intelligence. If intelligence is a universal force, because if you really sit quietly and think, we are traveling at millions of kilometers in space, right, without even our knowledge. So we are on this ship, and these are our crew members basically. So if it is going, let it go, let it do its thing, and that means AI is not our invention in the first place. So there's nothing artificial about it, but a mirror reflecting the intelligence that made us. So go with the flow and make the best of it. Have fun, and enjoy the evolution, and with ethics, with morals, so that we make sure that AI system align with the same order, harmony, and responsibility that intelligence that created us. Now, with that note, I would like to talk something about my group. If you like the talk, please join this group called Software Test Automation Group. It's been there for last 10 years and growing. We are one of the promotional partners for testing talks, and probably a brainchild behind this. Probably, I don't know. Cameron will confirm that. And we are open for a lot of knowledge ecosystem, learning the latest tools and technologies. And we are there in a lot of platforms, basically Meetup, LinkedIn, YouTube. Please do attend. And lastly, if you could resonate with the divine side of things, and this was one of the talks that I gave. Again, I was not intending to write a book, by the way. They say a sculptor sees God as a sculptor. What else? A painter sees God as a painter. So as an automation tester, I saw God as an automation tester. Okay, I feel everybody is getting tested here. Sometimes your patience is being tested, your temper is being tested by your boss, your family members, your children, or whoever that is, your spouse, or for that matter. You're being tested constantly, right? So somewhere a part of me thought, okay, what if God is automation tester, and what if we are his or her test subject, he, she, it, or whatever. Like, I'm not biasing there, by the way. So maybe. So I did a lot of research. All the 7 layers, our network layer, session layer, all those things. I kind of draw a certain similarity between human anatomy and how those things are layered. Quite insightful project for myself. Again, I'm not spreading any kind of religious or philosophical thing. It's more about, it's a technical book. If you feel like, go and read it, and if you don't like it, give us 1 star. If you like it, give a 5-star rating, whatever it is. And lastly, join our meetup group. This is great. Testing Talks is great, but this is once in a year. We do meetups every month or 2. Feel free to join in and have a blast. Lastly, any questions? I was told I need to ask a question. Is that true? Like, I have to ask a question? Okay. Or you have to ask a question, I don't know.
Now, first of all, huge round of applause for Vikas Joshi. Now, Q&A time. Any question from audience? Anyone?
So how are we as QA engineers meant to assess the bias in AI models? Like, given, say, I'll pick on a sponsor here, say Apply Tools, they've got a non-open source model that they use in their tools. How can I assess what the biases are?
Yeah, that's a very valid question. Like, it's like AI hallucination. Like, at what point do we figure out the AI is hallucinating? It's exactly the same question. The interesting part is there's no clear answer till the defect shows up by itself, number 1. And number 2 is we have to have some kind of algorithms in place and which will pump in different type of test data, right? Like there was something about the facial recognition. It would not recognize people with certain skin tone for whatever reason, because it was not trained with that kind of test data. So one way is to have a comprehensive test data in place, if there's one. And if there isn't one, build one, and then keep evolving over a period of time. And that's the only way we can find out. And as I think probably the answer is in the question, you keep testing your AI system for the bias. So there has to be test cases, like we have UI test cases, we have performance test cases, we have API test cases. Similarly, we might have to have bias-based test cases, which will make sure we pass certain test data, valid, invalid, and make sure, okay, the AI is behaving in certain, just way, is what I can say.
Hi, Vikas. So the journey from manual testing to automation testing has been a very slow. Like, say, your group itself was 10 years old, and but when we talk about AI testing, AI automation testing, so for last couple of years, it has been so fast, rapidly. The reason could be that automation tools were not learning by themselves. So AI tool will be learning by themselves by the mistakes, and slowly there will be less errors and less interventions of the human. Where do you see like the future, let's say in 2 years? Because last 2 years are very fast, the next 2 years will be even faster.
Yeah.
So where do you see the future of automation testing with AI when they are still learning? Because when you say example of Facebook had to switch off 2 of the servers because they started talking to each other in different language.
Right, yep.
So with this AI, the tools are learning by themselves and very fast. Where do you see the future of testing and AI testing?
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of anticipation in that question. Okay, the answer is even I don't know, but I'm positive about it with skepticism. See, the only reason we all do testing is we are pessimistically optimistic. Okay, we would want the system to break. Okay, we want to find out its defects. Okay, and then go live. Right? It's a very pessimistic way of seeing the world, but with a very optimism. Right? So same thing I would apply, the same mindset I would apply. Like, I don't know if you came to my stall, there's a sticker that we have built, break it to make it. Okay. Now, the end goal is to make it. Okay. And the way I would see it is, as a tester, we have to have a critical thinking cap on and then test all these things. And because we are in intermediate stage where the products are not autonomous yet, we have to start creating a certain AI test system which will test other AIs. We are still talking about visual testing and all those things, but still it is not autonomous. If we can create an autonomous testing tool that can test any other AI system, then probably we have cracked the code for it. And that will keep a tab on, and that can become a standard in coming days to make sure that, AI has to go through this particular set of tests, be it data, be it bias, be it, fairness, be it ethics, morals, and everything. It has to match all these statistics before it goes live into the real market. Because we are in intermediate stage, we don't know what this animal looks like. We are having this anticipation. But over a period of time, I would like to think it's the testers from this room or other testers around the world, we will be able to figure out a solution for that. Yeah. I know it's not the exact answer, but yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Hi, Vikas.
Hi.
So, a quick question on your slides show manual testing, then automation testing, and now the AI automation testing, right?
Yep.
Now, I was seeing the other slide in one of the other tracks where someone has asked the CEOs that, how much automated you are. So 2% says we are fully automated. Then another 5% says we are 75. Another 10% says 50, blah, blah, blah. And there were still scenarios where there are organizations still not automated, right?
Right.
Now, and for the last 20 years, what I've been seeing, when manual testing was around, the automation testing was coming, and everyone's like, guys, your job is going to go now, learn automation, right?
Yep.
Manual testers still exist.
Yes.
Now, there's a fear in the community, post, LinkedIn, wherever you see, oh, AI is coming, take your jobs, manual testers, find a way. Do you think at any given point in time, will manual testing ever finish off? I don't think so. You can disagree, but I need your opinion on that. And I'll also sort of connect it to a lot of people whom I've been hearing today that, okay, this, for example, the approach that you give, here, and I've seen a lot of similar demos that, okay, the AI is reading the Jira and then creating test cases, automating end to end. And someone asked the question here in the group, said, hey, but who ensures that the coverage is right? Oh, no, you still need a manual intervention out there. So is manual testing gonna go? I don't think so. I need your opinion. So is there a need to fear?
Okay. Both the answers, I would say manual testing will not go as long as you are doing smart and intelligent work. Full stop. Till now, human intelligence cannot be replaced to a certain extent. Again, to what IQ are we talking about is questionable. And sorry, the second question was?
The crux of the question is manual testing going to disappear or not? Is what I wanted to
never,
ask, right?
Never. Because we need a tester, a human, to press a button on whether it is successful or not, at least in near future. And then there was one more question which you asked. Okay. Okay, no, because I really wanted to touch upon the second one. It's funny how the important things get lost. Yeah.
Yep, seems like Vikas got the difficult questions. Okay. Yep. Now it's time for Vikas to ask the difficult question. Go for it.
Okay, sure. What do I ask?
Thinking a lot, so
okay,
should be difficult.
If you have scanned the QR code, you would know how many members are there in our Stag meetup group. Okay, the answer came from here. It was very, okay, all right, probably he might get it. Okay, so you get a $50 gift certificate. Yay, wow.